Thank you. Part of Spare Parts, which I'll talk about for a while, is a miniature art museum, our mini art museum. Has anyone heard of our mini art museum that's traveled the globe? Awesome. So we've tried to solve the problem of it being difficult for kids to be able to travel to art institutions to see artwork, find artwork. So what we've done is miniaturized the experience, but not diminish it. We've created artwork. We've actually commissioned artists that have shown here, actually, to create a work of art that is smaller than their usual size. And we install it in old binders, and we travel that all over the world, mostly in San Antonio. But I wanted to go to Edinburgh, Scotland, to check out a traveling gallery that they had. And when I first did a traveling gallery search, Edinburgh, Scotland, a CreativeMornings speaker popped up. That was the first thing on the search in Google. And I contacted this person who spoke at CreativeMornings in Edinburgh, and he was so welcoming, and I ended up just randomly buying a ticket. I didn't know anybody but this person that I had met through CreativeMornings talk, and he helped me meet other people and connect. And it was, again, thanks to CreativeMornings and then that's how I found out about CreativeMornings. So I'm very glad to be here. I know the importance of this and networking. It's come to me firsthand, and let's just get started. Spare parts. Has everyone or anyone heard about spare parts? Raise your hand if you've heard about spare parts. Okay. Spare parts, our mission is to advance reuse and sustainability, creativity. To advance reuse and sustainability through creativity and the arts. I was a teacher back in 2000-something, and I didn't have any money for school supplies. An art teacher. We've all heard this, right? Teachers have to spend their own money, and I wanted to figure out a way to solve that problem. How could I get some supplies as an art teacher for the coming year? They give you hardly anything. I was having lunch actually with an intern from Art Pace, and I said, hey, I'm starting this new position. Where can I get materials? I have nothing, and I shouldn't have to afford. You know, doctors don't pay for like their equipment when they work. Like art teachers and artists should not have to figure out that kind of stuff too. So she said, I know this business. Let's go and see what they have. They were very teacher-friendly, artist-friendly, and they left me with a car full of fun acrylic pieces and vinyl stuff. And they said, come back with a U-Haul because we have more things to give you, literally a U-Haul. And I thought, well, this is a problem I could solve. This is a greater solution that I can give to San Antonio. And I had a giveaway that year. We had 100 teachers. I got the U-Haul. I took everything that they couldn't use. I invited other organizations and folks to give what they didn't need anymore in terms of creative materials. Didn't want anything new because we were thinking more about sustainability and not wanting people to buy things, but we knew that at least someone had a bag, or 2 or 3 people had a bag from Michael's from a long time ago, that they swore that they were going to work on this project, and they were still going to, that bag of all those materials were still in that bag, and that it could go to a good home in an art classroom. So I had 100 teachers take advantage of this giveaway for free, and because of that one giveaway, we were able to reach out to over 10,000 kids. So imagine stuff being diverted from the landfill, perfectly fine things being diverted from the landfill, going into the classroom and having this win-win situation. I bring up these three charts. I like to think of the way that I think about art now and art education in a farm-to-table kind of format, where we're looking for materials and we're sourcing locally. At the end, we need to produce an art project, an artwork, but but we don't want to create more of a carbon footprint for the city, the world, our community, our neighborhood. So that's what farm to table means for us in the art education world through spare parts. Everyone thinks that recycling is the way to go. Do we know that that's the way to go now? No. Do we know that people in China are not accepting our materials anymore? Have we heard about that? Recycling is not the way to handle it, handle our refuse. It's about reducing and refusing, first of all, the things. We don't need brand new shoes. We don't need the newest phone, the latest gadget. I'll tell you, I've been very good at honing my creative reuse MacGyver skills. So no lie, this morning I went to put these shoes on and I broke the latch on these shoes, so I got a zip tie instead. And I now have a zip tie on one of my shoes and then the regular little like tassel thing on this side. So this is how, I'm not gonna buy a new pair of shoes. I'm gonna fashion, maybe Riley, you can help make this look a little bit better. You're very good at MacGyvering. But it's about repairing things, refusing things, keeping up with your items so that you don't have to consume more. Because if we look around, everything is trash. Everything has the potential for being trash, and we don't have like room for it. We don't have room for it. So after reducing, we reuse, repair, hence this, or refill things, repair and repurpose. Recycling is one of the last things that we should be doing if we want to really care about our neighborhood and environment. So what spare parts uses is we don't actually go to the dump and we don't actually pull stuff from the dump. Although I have been to Hawaii where a lot of pollution ends up because of its location. And we have picked up trash in lots of beaches there and on the Texas coast. But we really need to rethink how we interact with the stuff around us. And this is why we're going to work, oh, hey. This is why we're going to work with things that were an end to a lot of people, the materials that we have here. So these materials all were ends for people. Like they didn't want them anymore. They were going to throw them away. And they knew about us and needed these materials to us. So I thought, when I was thinking about end, for me, everything that we incorporate in spare parts are beginnings. It's your end, but it's our beginning. So this is a group of girls who are working with odds and ends. They're increasing their divergent thinking skills because once you are given materials like this to work on a problem, your ability to problem solve expands versus a test that you are given in a standardized test where there's only one right answer. Divergent thinking skills is the opposite of that, where you have multiple solutions for a problem. So I had a huge donation of, you're gonna look at these materials and you're gonna say, these are actually kind of nice. Like, where did you get all these markers? This was from a zine artist who didn't want these markers anymore. And we always have people who donate cork to us. It smells like wine, so, but they weren't all me, I'll say that. What you're gonna do once you get your cork, and y'all are gonna all have to come up, is think about a time where there was an ending, something like a important moment in your life that was an end for you, a moment. And you're going to decorate with words, with drawings, with colors that represent those feelings or that moment, and you're going to decorate your cork however you like. If you even have ballpoint pens, those are the best kind of pens that work with cork, and also these permanent markers. So you can pull some markers and a couple of pens. Make sure you share the colors and everything with your partner or the people in your row. And then I found, when I was going through my stuff, because I was like, you know, we're the opposite of art teaching in that if we're going to go, I think the normal way of making art is going to the store and buying materials for the things that you need to make. We look at what we have. I don't know if anyone is very good. I'm not very good at this in the kitchen, but I'm good at this with materials. When you have to make something to eat and you only have what's in the kitchen to make the stuff with, this is the same thing. So I was like going through our stuff, I was like, we're gonna make a project that has to do with end. Everything that we work with here in spare parts has to do with ends and beginnings. So what can we make that's super, you know, small and impactful? So I found these tiny little, what are these called, Riley? These little like screws that have a little eyes, like screw eyes that make actually a nice little place for you to add a piece of thread. Okay, pretend this one, yeah, here we go. And then I have some beads here that are always fun donations that you can use to decorate your necklace, your bracelet, the thing that's gonna hang from your windshield, mirror, you know. Anyways, you can decorate it afterwards. So this is your project for right now. Does anyone have any questions for this project? You come up and do one. This is Karina. We did a Take It Apart and Make Art workshop, which was about taking old electronics apart. We worked with 10-Bit Works in San Antonio. We thought that taking any kind of electronic apart was totally safe and anyone can do it, but you gotta be careful. We learned that. So they were the ones that taught us about the insides of old technology and what needs to be, you know, like put away and not touched, and what things could be repurposed into artwork. And this is the feeling that we get and we want others to have when they're working with things that are people's ends but are beginnings. I found this quote, "Stories don't end," he says, "they just turn into new beginnings." So this is what we're doing. We're gonna talk about an ending point in this project, but also this is a beginning too, in a way. So come on up, come on up. We're gonna be making artwork today. Please follow us on all the social medias. Spare Parts is a very small organization, but we have a wide reach. If you message me or email me through any of these avenues, you will get me. So however you connect with us, you will connect with me and we can continue our conversation. So that's the best question. I have stuff to give you. Where can I drop it off? For $50,000, I will take all of your paper towel rolls today. I will take them for $50,000 because we don't have a storefront. These creative reuse or storefronts exist all over the world. And we right now only have administrative offices where we run our programs. We are looking for volunteers. We're looking for people who have connections to storefronts that we can start the ability to receive things. These materials were received a long time ago. We don't really accept any materials right now because we just don't have the people power, the resources to go to accept them. You would be surprised at the things that we've received. I can't tell you all the weird things that we've received, but it does take some time to organize, sort, and make sure that they're safe for use. and don't have roaches in them or other gross things. So not to say that, but but it does take a lot of energy to put an organization that distributes materials like this on a regular basis. It takes a lot of time, and we want it to be full-time. Right now we're mostly programming, and every summer, once in a while, we'll have a giveaway. And by keeping in touch with us through social media, you will find out when we start accepting materials for our the next giveaway. We don't have one planned right now. We just had one in March. Thank you for asking. That's the number one question, the best question.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, sure. To piggyback on what Priscilla just said, we do have a very strong Facebook following of people who do offer things up. We'll take a picture and say, hey, I just have the 1980s, collection of National Geographics. They take a picture of it, they post it on our Facebook page, and a teacher will connect with that post, and you will be able to find somebody. So they're always asking for things on our Facebook page, and they're always putting things up to donate locally. Right now we have we work a lot with schools through our mini art museum and through Spare Parts. We get invited, and through external agencies like the city and Bexar County. We do everything from a Fifth Friday Art in the Park at Hemisphere to working at the Crier Detention Treatment Center with kids in juvie, to working with a lot of Harlandale High School and elementary kids right now during the summer. So we're connected with almost all the districts, or at least lots of teachers in different districts.
And so your contracts are with the school districts, or you're being invited by teachers?
Both.
What's the support, I guess, from the school system?
It's pretty strong. It's one of our greater support avenues. They like the idea of, they like our win-win situation where we're teaching them divergent thinking, where they might think that something is trash and want to throw away, but instead we train them to think about that in a way that they can use for curriculum development. So they really like our inexpensive way of building on exciting experiences for kids in the classroom, using stuff that they have already. Any other questions? I'll leave you with one quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's by Aaron Kramer. Trash is a failure of imagination. Thank you.